Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to Touch Mother Earth. We're going to have a fabulous weekend. We have the positive vibe tribe. Everybody hear me?
All's clear on my end.
All good.
Good.
Look into the camera.
Okay, just so everybody knows, I'm hard of hearing, and you'll find that out when we're at the gate and I can't hear people the hard way. So usually what happens is I'll work in the background of all of these, of constantly. You'll see me most of the time in the background, but I want to go over certain procedures and I want to tell you what the agenda is for today's meeting. The first thing I'll go over is the schedule, which is very tentative. You'll see your names on there, and there's certain people I moved over to general volunteering, as perhaps not on
Shannon Crothers joined the meeting.
Stand by. Okay, and it means that it's a little tentative in there. Okay, so having said that, I'm going to, as soon as we have 12 people on, and I know that one is Dave and myself, and Kara is on. No, well, maybe she's not. She left. Okay. We're going to go over that schedule. So I have two ways. One, you see me on the mobile. I'm going to raise my hand. Okay. And then the other, you'll see me at the desk here. And the reason is on the desk, we'll be able to have the Excel spreadsheet with the schedule so we can go over it. And then on my phone, we actually go over the check-in procedure. Okay. So I'm going to wait, there's something going on. The chat is going on here. Okay, so Kara will be right back. Kara is our our volunteer coordinator. So while I run the front gate and everything else and anything to do with that and producing the rest of the festival and stuff with Dave and I, Kara, if you have any questions, she'll be back and forth as the volunteer coordinating can help you at any point in time. So I'm going to right now share my screen. Let me get up the schedule, the date schedule. There we go. And now I'm going to share the schedule with you so you'll be able to see. Share screen. Okay. So we have here the schedule. It's very tentative. And if you look at what is going on with the regular schedule, you'll understand two things. First of all, we have what we call the public gate, which is at 127 Yellow Brick Road. And that's where mostly the public is coming in at and parking. Then we have what we call the vendor gate. And the vendor gate is at 242 Adelphia Road. And those two areas have the box offices and what we call the reception gate. And Dave, do you have the a picture of the map with you?
Yeah, but you're using the screen. While you're using the screen, I'll have to wait.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Can you put up the map for a second?
Sure,
You can see
sure.
the two dates. Is that a yes?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Okay, just a minute then.
All right, now I gotta pull one up. All right, while we're doing that, what she's talking about with the two gates, they do change by hours, meaning that the vendors are only used for a portion of it. Obviously, once the vendors are in and set, we don't need that to be as, but it's more important to switch over to the public gate at that point. I am pulling up our map as we speak, so bear with me.
Okay, let me reclaim it then if you can't get it.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Sorry, just I wasn't prepared. All right, it's opening up. Okay, back to share screen. Didn't open up. What is going on? App didn't open up. Yes, it did. Share screen. Sorry, guys. Do you guys see that? Are you guys able to see the map?
Go
I'm not
ahead.
sure.
No,
I think it's just pulling
there
up
it is.
now. Okay. Everything
Okay.
is slow today, guys.
So this is over the Yellowbrook Road public entrance.
Yes.
And the desk is actually that little box over here on the inside of the parking.
So Friday night, our main
Box
concern
office.
is down here.
Yeah, which says box office from the 127 Yellowbrook Road entrance.
Right
Then
in here.
can you move your arrow to the Yellowbrook Road?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, and then the box office, which is further in over here. There we go. Okay. So when is that going to be used? What's happening is the vendors will line up there on Friday night. Where Mark and I will be checking them in. Then they will be driving around to the vendor drop-off at exactly 6 p.m. Passing the box office here where we will check their tag, their wristbands, and the vendors will go in and drop off and come back out, and they park at Yellowbrook also. The public for Friday night, the 242 Adelphia Road box office, the drum circle comes in that way. We check them in and they drop off their drums over here and go to the drum circle. So most of the activity Friday night will happen at this, what we call the vendor gate. However, people are camping. And the campers will come in also through this gate, drop off, and go back out. So most of the activity is still the check-in at the vendor gate. However, people will also park at the public gate and go in if they're camping, or they're spending a weekend, or they're not drumming, basically. This kind of switches on Saturday. The vendor gate is just for drummers to checking them in, and the Yellow Brick Road gate becomes the public entry. And a huge amount of people come in for the day on Saturday. They come in for Sunday. So most of the activity switches to the public gate Saturday and Sunday, and the vendor gate on Friday night. And that's kind of what you need to know about the map, where those box offices are, etc. Okay, Dave, can you release the share screen back to me? We'll go back.
Just a note that that path that goes from the yellow brick public entrance is a path only. There are no cars to try to sneak in the back way. It is not suitable for regular vehicles. It's for walking or a golf cart.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is a tentative schedule. It can be changed. Usually last time I had to change it about 10 times before we had it down. If you want to look for your names, there's 3 people that I didn't put down here because right now we have enough. And those 3 people had put parking and cleanup and others. And those 3 people are Nicole Wilkins, Andrea Gariario, and Stephen. And the reason I did that is right now the schedule's okay, but we might need them in backup. So when Kara gets on, who's the volunteer coordinator, she'll give you, all the other people assignments. I'm just working the registration and the box office for you guys. So if you look at Friday, here's the issue Friday. We are lining up at about 4 p.m. with the vendors. No public. And Mark and I will check in the vendors at that gate as they come in at the yellow brick public gate. And we will be doing that all the way to 6 o'clock when the Girl Scouts leave and we're allowed in. When the Girl Scouts leave and we're allowed in, I will switch to the vendor gate because we're going to have vendors who already have their wristbands on driving through. We will have the public coming in. We will have the drum circle people coming in. We will have the campers coming in. So by 7 o'clock, it'll be pretty hectic in there. And I might put another person on at 7 p.m. because
Just as
we
a
actually
side,
need help.
sorry, just as a side note, the Girl Scouts, based on last year, did not allow us in until 6:30. So at that vendor gate, we will have the vendors who have already pre-checked in, etc., but we'll have to queue them in such a way that the Girl Scouts can still have their parents take their kids out. So that's just to be aware of that.
So it's going to be quite hectic at between 7 and 8 p.m. Okay, and we kind of need, if you want to jump in there as a volunteer during that time, that's fine too. The more people we have help at the gate, the better it's going to be. And then the drum circle starts at 8 p.m. So this will slow down to just campers coming in until, we're manning and closing up basically by 10 p.m. there. The public gate, Mark is very experienced, so he and Haley will take over after I'm gone. But basically, that's all you're going to have there is campers, not drummers, not people staying for the day, but people come, checking in for the weekend, maybe coming through on the public gate. Okay.
People may come to the opposite gate of where they're supposed to, so we're prepared to accept them.
Right. Okay, so we move to Saturday, and the vendor gate will be starting at 8 a.m. And this manning is basically because there's going to be a lot of drummers coming in. And very few vendors, although we'll handle the vendors also. And but basically the drum classes start around, I think it's 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. I think it's 11 a.m., right?
11.
Okay, he's muted, so.
I said 11.
Okay, so the drum circle, the drum classes that start on Saturday will give us presence in the vendor gate, because the drummers drop off there and basically bring their drums and park there. The public gate will be a lot more hectic. I will be at the public gate through the morning. I float from one gate to another. As you can see, I'm here, I'm there, I'm there, I'm in and out. So the public gate will be very hectic, starting probably around 10 a.m. over here, all the way through probably 1 p.m. And then it's going to slow down. 2 people can handle it. There's not much going on. We do have an evening ticket that starts at 5 p.m. So there may be some people, but even May, we had 500 people, and there were maybe a dozen people that came at 5 p.m. So it's kind of slow towards that evening, but needs to be manned. And that is the biggest issue. So when we go through the schedule like that, you'll see where you are, and if you want to move, exchange with someone, that's fine. You want me to change something, just text me and we'll know. So, but the biggest crunch areas is the public gate on Friday night, the vendor gate on Friday night is all a crunch. Saturday morning until like noon or 1 p.m. Then it'll slow down at the public gate. And early evening you might have more at the public gate and stuff. The vendor gate on Saturday basically is just handling the drummers that are coming in for the day and parking there, and any vendors that might be vending just Saturday. They come in early in the morning. So we get to Sunday, there's just a skeleton, and that is because Sunday is a free day to the public. So they pay $10 parking at the actual parking in the parking lot, and the parking people will handle that. And the only thing that is at both gates is, well, the vendor gate Sunday, actually, they may end up, what happened last year is that person ended up being the parking person, taking the $10 at our desk there instead of actually at the parking entrance and stuff. So we became kind of the parking people, $10 entrance. And then on the other side is basically just, we have T-shirts, we have donation box, donations for Touch Mother Earth. So there's no wrist, colors going on. There's nothing other than $10 parking and getting
No
people
wristbands. We
give
just
us
want,
their emails if they are, so behooved to, because they may not be want to give emails, but there's donations and there's T-shirts going on, things like that. So Sunday is a skeleton crew for registration. It's, there's the crunch. Does anybody have questions on the schedule? No? Okay. Okay, so we're going to go on to procedure then. I'm gonna stop the share of this screen, and you'll all get copies of this, so don't worry about it. Did you want to say something, Dave? You just appeared.
Just a reminder that some of the volunteers have requested 2 or 3 slots, so we will add them in once we know what workshops you want to go to.
Yeah, and Karen and Dave will get the rest of the schedule for the rest of the volunteers. So if you're working something else besides registration, you'll be on that schedule also. So, okay, staying to our agenda now, let's go over the next thing you'll know, and that is our bands. We have a different color, and it'll be assigned at the desks for the entry for Friday night. We have bands that actually say Saturday on them for the entry Saturday. And we have a different band for the vendors. And then we have a different bands if they're just saying Saturday during the day or Saturday evening. And then the main color band is if they're camping. So there's 6 different bands. I'm not going to go over them here. I'm going to give you a sheet on every desk so that you have it and you can see exactly what the bands are. Please make sure that they're tight on people. Otherwise they can slip them off, and we don't need people kind of slipping in. And we need to make sure that they have, registered and they're where they need to be. The campers who are campers are camping, and nobody else is doing that. So that's why we have the color bands. And for the vendors, it's basically so they can get through the gates in and out, and we know that a vendor is vending, and they may be missing somehow their position or something, whatever. Okay, so then we have colors. So somebody comes to the gate. The vendor gate is a drive-through thing. So they're going to pull up right to us. Our table is right in the way. They kind of can't get through into the camp unless they stop. And the volunteers will literally go up to the car and ask for their name. And I have clipboards for everybody. And when you take their name, you'll be checking them in electronically unless they're paying cash and have not pre-registered. If they haven't pre-registered, we have a number of different things. Like this is Zettel. And Zettel, let me turn it on for you. Okay, okay, it hooks to our credit card system, but it also logs cash. So if somebody comes in and they pay you $25 cash, as an example, you're going to go to our system on Zettel, and I'm going to get Zettel up in a while. And if they need to pay by credit card, there's a slot in here for the credit card to go in and out on it. And we at the desk, when you come to the desk, we will be going over your connection to Zettel, because you have to connect to it, and you'll get an invitation from Zettel. And once you get an invitation to Zettel and accept it, you will basically be in the Zettel system, and you will have access to be putting money in and out. Every person who works registration will get a belt. They're all different colors and they will all be numbered. And where's my camera? There. And 2 different cameras going. In that money belt will be $50 in change, enough to mostly 10s and 5s, enough to make change for people. So if somebody comes in for the weekend, which is $75, and they give you $100 bill, you need to give them $25 if they're paying cash. Most people don't do that. Where we get the cash will be, the drum circle is $15. They'll give you 15, they'll give you a 20, you need to give 5 back, that type of thing. On Saturday morning, you have a
Drum
lot of
circle
cash
is
people
20.
come in for Saturday. What, Dave?
Drum circle is 20 at the gate, 15 advance. So it's 20 for them.
20 to what? I didn't hear you.
20 at the gate for drum
Oh,
circle.
20 is the gate, yeah, right, the online fees change on Friday, basically, so it's 20 at the gate for the drum circle and 50 for the Super Saturday. But you will have this in front of you in the Zetto thing, which I can't get up right now. I will get up once I keep sharing my screen with something else. Okay, so how are you going to check in? We have a check-in system that you will get invited to, that I need to share this screen to do that. So just a minute. Let's see how I'm sharing this screen. Which I can't seem to do. Well, because do I need control back over to myself? I don't think I can share this screen. Dave,
Yeah,
can I share the, oh, what happened?
you should
How
be
did
able to share
did
screen,
you share
Devin.
from your phone?
Repeat the question?
Did you share from your phone? I need to
No,
share.
I did not. I'm not on the phone. I'm on the computer. What do you need to share?
Okay, just a second. Let me get the app up. I'm just going to show it. Okay. So this is, there we go. See if this. Not coming
Further
in.
away. Got to move it a little further away. It's too.
Yeah, it's not coming into focus. I can't do it this way. Almost had it.
Oh, your screen went off. Your phone turned off.
Okay. Some technical difficulties here.
Oh, yeah,
Let me
Cheryl.
keep this-
Cheryl,
What?
unblur your screen background and you'll be able to see the phone better. Unblur your background on the computer.
I don't have a background on mine.
You have it blurred.
Maybe I have no background.
You have it blurred.
I have no background. Okay.
Your screen is blurred, Cheryl.
Kara? Is Kara on?
Kara's not there. You need to unblur this.
It's not blurred. That's that.
So
Oh,
you need to
this
unblur
one.
that.
Oh, this one. Okay. But why can't I share the screen on here? Come here.
Well, that's why I originally came up.
Why can't I share screen?
Maximize that.
Mm.
Or you want to, you can't share screen from that unless you make that
I
a
need to
co-host.
share it on here.
Make it a co-host.
I am a co-host.
Is that a co-host?
I am a co-host. It says so. I don't see it.
Maximize that so you can see all your buttons. Full screen. There you go.
No, that's there. I need
Okay.
to share the screen here. It's an app.
Turn it sideways and see if it allows you more options. I don't know. I've never hosted with a share screen on a phone.
It's an app. Yeah, you can't see it. Okay. Let me try this again. Looking at it. Okay, we have an app here. There we go, that you're going to be invited to. And you're going to click on Touch Mother Earth. And when you click on Touch Mother Earth, you'll have an option of the Positive Vibe Tribe Festival. And as you can see, or you can't see very well, you can scan in or you can search. So I'm going to check in, continue. And this would allow me to scan a QR code if they have their tickets from, or we can go to manual check-in and you'll see in manual check-in, my name is there. Okay, I'm going to click on my ticket and it will allow me at that point to check in myself. Okay. And you just, it's all we'll do is exit in and that will check the person in. There's also the ability to scan the ticket or to add an order. So we can click on box office. And if we click on box office, it allows us at that point in time to add a ticket. And all the tickets will come out up. So here's like Saturday night performance as an example. I'm going to click one ticket and proceed to checkout. And then how we're going to pay, you could tap it from the phone or you can search something on it. Addition. Okay, so we're going to send written instructions on that and you all going to get an invitation to the app for that. Okay, on that one. I disappeared here. Wait, let me put myself back on Zoom here. There. Okay, there's my second one. Okay. So once they are, that's if they've prepaid. And for this event, we don't have as many prepaid as we did last time, because last time we had over 200 tickets prepaid. It was a huge check-in. It was actually, you know, phenomenal. Okay, it literally was phenomenal. So in this situation, you're going to get more cash. We're going to use this system, okay, the Zettel system in there. And when you get Zettel up on your phone, you'll each be invited to Zettel. You'll get an invitation to Zettel. And when you get it up, you'll see it again, has all the tickets. It's very easy to check somebody in, but we don't have their name. So everybody will just be cash, the amount, and checking. And that's about it. Okay. Any questions? I know this seems a lot of complicated, but when you start your shift, it's, you know, everything's going to be go over. Does anybody here not have a smartphone that they can connect to Zettel or the check-in service? Okay, everybody has a smartphone, so we should be fine. We do have manual workarounds and Excel spreadsheets. We found them really difficult to use. You sit there for 10 minutes searching for names and stuff. It's much better to do it electronically. Also, the fact that we have the two gates going, you know, one to another, makes it easy, because if you check somebody in on one gate, it shows up on the system on the other. So that makes it easier.
You
The
mentioned,
money bags, and at the end of your shift, you will bring the money bag either to me, if you can find me, or Kara is our volunteer coordinator. She can pick up the money bags and sign you out on that. Kara will also have the food vouchers. You get a $10 food voucher for every one of your shifts, so she'll have that available for her at any time. She can also provide emergency fill-in. She can also, you know, bathroom breaks, that type of thing. And, you know, in an emergency, we had it last year where volunteers didn't show up and stuff, kind of pitching in at the last minute. So her phone number will be available for you. Me, you have to text because I can't hear a phone. And I don't have this little thing on me during the festival, which allows me to answer a phone. So you'll have my text, you'll have Kara's, you'll have Dave's phone number in an emergency. And each other's. In the beginning, I'm going to share the screen again on the schedule.
Valerie, you had a question. You can unmute.
Who had a question?
And also, Cheryl, you mentioned the check-in procedure. Did you show them about that they can search by name directly? You mentioned it, but
I can't hear you, Dave.
it's okay. We will show you that you can check them in by search as well. They give you their name. They don't have their receipt, etc. We can find them by name on electronically, not just on the print.
The vendors?
The people who purchase
Text me.
tickets, correct? All right, Valerie, you had a question.
I can't hear.
Hi, yes. I haven't had too much time to review a lot of the material, but I vaguely remember. What time is the scheduled time for us to gather before the checking, all of this checking starts? What time did you want us there? Arrival.
In the schedule, your scheduled time is there. You
Cheryl,
have to check
she
your
wants to
name.
Well,
know.
not attendance, but like arrival for us to begin and gather and like.
Do you want her as early as 4 p.m. or do you want her to wait, for example, until 5 p.m.? When would you like her to show up on Friday for general check-in for herself? Valerie, I
Hello?
believe you can come in as early as 4 PM. I know by 5, certainly we will be setting up and all. I'll be
Okay.
putting up signs, but you know, if I grab you, you might do that for Friday. I know you wanted to volunteer all 3 days. So you might be helping me with signs, you might be helping with parking if you're not doing the gate on Friday.
Dave,
Okay, and then, one more question is where we're parking in the same area as everyone else, correct?
Correct,
Are the volunteers?
correct.
Dave,
And then,
if you could put yourself on video, I could read your lips. I know what you're saying.
Oh,
This is why I use Zoom. Thank
and
you.
then,
about that. Sorry about that.
so
She
I'm
was
staying,
asking questions about what time she wants to get in, get her camp set up. That you won't be able to go in until the Girl Scouts release, which will be about 6:30. But
got
we
it.
can have you come in, get situated, make sure your phone is working if you're working the gate. If you're working parking, for example, on Friday, you'll be in one of the spots where parking occurs. We'll get you situated for that.
So the
We're
earliest
all-
for me, to arrive with my car to get it parked is no earlier than 6. Is that what you're saying?
Well, because you won't be able to enter in, you could be parked and working at 6, for example. Because we'll be checking vendors in and they will be parking. So the earliest they'll be checking in, they won't be driving in until 6:30. Once they unload, then they'll unpark, but we will need help orienting people. There's all kinds of stuff on Friday, so you're welcome to come early. The sooner you come, we'll get you oriented. We'll find something for you to do if you want to start right away.
Okay.
If you prefer to just come and just come in, you know, at the last minute, then come in at 6.
Okay.
Somewhere between 4 and 6 is fine.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen again with the schedule. Just to point out that we have a crunch here Friday. So if other people are available and you want to jump in, you can do that. It's also be great if you want to show up for training early, like on somebody's beginning of somebody else's shift, so that you'll know what you're doing. We will go
Right.
over everything I just spoke about, but we'll actually, when your hands on, that's why it's hard with these screens. When your hands on and see it, it's actually easy. You know, when you see it on the screen, it looks very difficult. So, but this is a crunch time for us, literally. We have, you know, people coming for both gates, mostly the vendor gate. We have the vendors coming in and standing for 2 hours until they'll be allowed in, and we'll be checking them in here at the public gate. And then they will have their wristbands, and then they will go through the gate, okay, on the vendor gate with their wristbands so that we could just swipe them through. They've got their wristband, they've already been checked in, and then check in at the public. You know, and we will be checking them in their cars. It's not a physical position. And anytime you're at the vendor gate, you know, the desk is right there and the car comes and stops right there. So it's a different kind of check-in. At the public gate, we have a desk there and it's a desk check-in, and they have parked already in the parking lot and they are walking through. And if you see your time, so for example, if you've got 8 a.m., okay, you know, be there 10 minutes earlier as we set up. You know, what we've done is 3-hour shifts. So the trade-off, some people will need to stay, you know, a few minutes afterwards to help the person who is getting in there, make sure that they're all set up. And some people might want to come early for their shifts so that they're trained in there. We have a few very experienced people. I mean, besides myself, we have Mark, who is his third festival, even though he's only 15. He's our expert, and he's also a technical expert and stuff. His mom, Kara, is the volunteer coordinator, and so she worked the gate in the last 2 years also, so she's very experienced. So between the three of, and Aislinn was our volunteer coordinator last year, so she can jump in. So between all of us, we have a lot of experience, and I float from one gate to another, back and forth, and I try to get there at the beginning of every shift so I could train people until I know you're okay. And that's about it. Any other questions? Anybody? Okay, I will be.
I have a
taking
question. I'm
email
sorry.
applications.
Go ahead.
Sorry, it's Melissa. So there's this is just the vendor schedule. There's another schedule, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so,
Tomorrow night, we have another meeting and we will, be addressing the other, some of you have double shifts, if you're doing gate and you're doing something else like parking or something else, we'll cover the other stuff tomorrow.
okay, I just wanted to double check because,
Sure.
just wanted to
This
make
is the
sure.
more critical one because we're the ambassadors to everybody coming in. For anybody who's come in before, they're going to want to zoom by you. No, you got to check in. For people who are new, they're going to ask you, hold my hand and show me what this map means. So we will be showing you the map if you come early. All those additional things will relate to the map, to the actual camp. The hard part, and we experienced this last year, and it is kind of critical because we don't want to repeat what we did last year. So having the vendors, giving them the option, they can wait until 6 and go directly to the main gate where the vendors come in. But some vendors, they're driving 3-4 hours. They want to arrive early. They don't know what the traffic's going to be like. They may show up at 5. We will be able to check them in, like Cheryl said, at the weekend parking gate. It just means they'll be sitting there until we say, okay, the gate is open. Now you got to drive. And this is really silly. There's 2 gates on the map, but to get between those gates on the road is a 2-mile journey. You got to go out, over, around, and back in, like 3/4 of the side of a block.
But
So
if they
once they
don't
get
check
into
in
the
at
other
the back
side,
end,
we will queue them up. We will have them ready and say, you're already checked in at the other side. You're first. You guys can get in line. When we get that flag from the camp, then they're first in, and that's their advantage of pre-checking in. The rest who will come in at 6 or 6:30, maybe they're just coming in to claim their space, put their tent up, go home. They'll come back Saturday morning with all their merchandise. They'll
but
already.
if they don't check in at the back gate first, then they can't drive through. They literally slow themselves up because they have to wait for us then to check them in in order to get in. If they go to the public gate at 127 Yellowbrook, they'll have their wristbands. When Dave gives the okay, let's go, basically they could just drive through into their spots. So it'd be faster for them to register at the public gate and not go to the public gate and sit with the public as we get through them. So some things that we need people to check is to make sure, the number of tickets, since we're doing cars, okay, they might have a ticket for one, but there's a second person in there. Children are $1, so and the reason we do that so that we have a head count on the children and we have some sort of registration and not children just running all over the place, not associated with an adult. We really don't want their dollar. We just really want to make sure that they're registered in and we have a good account for how many kids are in the park. The other thing is, you know, we have a reservation sheet where they have tents or huts or cabins. And we have
Okay.
that at the front desk, both desks have that. So if somebody comes in and says, oh, I have a hut, you'll have a Excel spreadsheet with their name that shows what hut they have. PW, they're all named PW. Painted Wings 1 through 6, for example, or what hut number or what tent number they have. So that will give them a clue so that you'll be able to show them then on the map where their cabin is, where their hut is, where their platform tent is. And so just so you know, people who have bringing their own tent, there's no spot. They get to pick their own spot because you will be asked this. We get asked this like 1,000 times. Where do I go with my tent? Anywhere you want. You can park it, go anywhere there's not a vendor and there's not, you know, not too close to
No
a platform
vegetation.
tent where people want their privacy. That's why they paid for a platform.
It's good. People find their creative spot. Sometimes it's a hammock and they find 2 trees. Sometimes they find a little spot open in the woods that's very quiet. Nobody's around and they love it. So it's, you know, there's enough room. It's not like a campground where it's one tent, one car, one family, that's it. No, it's one big communal area per camp and there's 10 camps. So there's plenty of room. We've had 200 people camp there. We will not have that many this year, so it's going to be a lot easier. But for those of you who continue with us next May, when we repeat, if we are still at the same location, you'll become the new experts, which is good. Like Cheryl was saying about making sure that everybody is registered, you're going to find people who say, oh, I decided to go last minute. You know, they thought they could just slip in. No, you got to pay for your week. If you're coming for the weekend and you're camping, you have to have that weekend camping band. If you're around at night or at 6 in the morning or 8 in the morning, you don't have a camping band, we're going to ask you to go and register. And it has happened. People sometimes show up late. They arrive too late and nobody checks them in Friday night. Go back and check in on Saturday morning. It has happened.
So also, and not to bring up anything negative, but we are prepared for rain, just in case. And the drum circle literally will be in one of the
Yurts.
yurts, right? Okay, at the drum camp. And then the main stage, all the performers would be under the pavilion, which is now the dance pavilion. And the mind, body, spirit, and yoga would be at the other yurt. So if that ended up happening, we would be diverting people to a different spot on the map. And we would basically put a tag mark on the map so you could show them, you know, where to go and how to do that. But we're praying and doing everything we to make sure we have good weather that coming weekend.
There is one more thing, Cheryl. You got walkie-talkies. You got, how many walkie-talkies did you buy?
6.
Okay, so we'll have gate coverage so people can say, we have somebody at our gate, they belong at your gate, we're sending them over, or, you know, something like that, or we need Dave, or.
Right, Dave and Kara will have one, and the front gate and the back gate, and then parking will have one. I can't hear on them, so it doesn't make any sense to give me one. I just hear noise. So that would help.
We're excited, everybody, we really are. I know you're all on silent, and that's okay if you want to say hello. And Tara apologizes. She had a family emergency 2 minutes before the meeting. She appeared to say hello and goodbye. She will be here tomorrow for the next meeting. If you guys want to make that to learn more about the camp itself, or if you're taking on other gates, tomorrow at 8, we'll try to keep it also under an hour. Thank you, everybody.
I'm really looking forward to it. I was looking forward to the last one as well, but things happened and I couldn't make it.
Will Bill be making tomorrow's meeting?
Yeah, can you just send it to his cell phone? I
Sure.
think I gave you his number.
Yep, I can take care of that.
Yeah, he usually doesn't get home until 8 o'clock, so hopefully he will be able to get there on time.
All right. Grab his phone from the car. And Valerie, good to meet you, finally. All of you, really, a lot of you are new to us, so this is really nice. We have Nicole Wilkins and Stephen Grunt were here last year. Stephanie was here last year. So these people can also help you with things about the camp that they already know, you know, for asking a question like, where are the bathrooms? I know they're on the map, but I can't figure it out from where I am. We can help you out. It's okay. It's all good.
So we thank you so much. Thank you for blessing this event, and make sure you have a lot of fun also. Most of our volunteers give us feedback and say they have like a fabulous weekend and stuff.
Yeah.
So we hope you have a fabulous weekend and that you enjoy it and that you come back again.
And dress
Oh,
for
I
the
know I
weather. We
will.
also have things that you'll be wearing. We have reflective vests, etc., which you'll be getting to help identify you. A lanyard. So all these things will help you stand out as a volunteer.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
we'll see you on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
You guys take
Bye.
care. Shirley, you are just too cute over there.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.